I love the feeling of being pulled out of my seat and so caught up in a story that I forget everything else, that I become part of that story. In the beginning of Star Wars 6, there's an epic space battle with huge special effects and very intense action. When that opening scene ended, I realized that I still had 2 hours of movie left. This was just the grand opening and not the grand finale. Films can alter your mood, and they have a great way of opening people up to new ideas. An example of that would be if you're having a bad day, watch, something, upbeat and uplifting. If you're angry at somebody, definitely, watch a good comedy, and it can really bring just enough distraction to take you away from that negative energy. How I get inspired is I read a lot. I mean, constantly. I find stories and ideas in simple, common phrases. I have a friend of mine that almost always has some kind of crazy story that I could never even begin to make up. So I use, bits and pieces of what they tell me to put together to try to fit them into a story. I think it all really started when I began editing my own music video compilations. I would get stuck on my favorite song, and I would use Windows Movie Maker to create a montage using bits of video I found on the internet. After a few years of just kind of messing around, I started wanting to use my own footage. I wanted to be able to decide how the visuals went instead of using just pre-made clips. So I went out and bought a camera on eBay for $20 and started filming, and it was all junk. But I didn't stop. I started doing a show on YouTube called The Shaun Show. Yeah, there's a story behind that name. After watching The Social Network,
from that point on, it was a Shaunathon.
Some friends of mine who consider me very verbose. So in reference to the line about Sean Parker, welcome to The Shaun Show, and it stuck. Actually became the base for the name The Shaun Show Productions, which is how I credit my work. The first time I did any kind of professional work, I was networking with a lot of local filmmakers, and I called and bugged the heck out of one guy to let me come work with them on this film shoot they were doing nearby. And I got there with my gear and just asked how I could help. So we shot this scene, and a week later the director called me and asked to see all of the footage I had, and they ended up using it all, and I got credited as second unit director and camera operator. That was also my payment until the movie sold, so yeah, still waiting for checks on that. To answer your question, make movies. That's what I want to do. That's the answer. I want to make awesome films like Michael Mann, Ridley Scott, and Chris Nolan. I love how he saved Batman from extinction and brought us the Heath Ledger Joker, which I never thought would be as good as the Jack Nicklaus. I hope I could do something as cool as that.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.